fresh season, fresh energy, fresh abundance, and the same unfiltered, crazy truth around here. The 2025 podcast season of Project Me with Tiffany Carter starts now. And I couldn't have thought of a better topic than to have something slightly controversial to your inner overachiever. We are going to talk about how being lazy might actually be your new secret weapon to success in 2025. And before my type A listeners have a collective meltdown right now, I've got plenty of science to back this up. So grab your emotional support water bottle and tell your to-do list we're on a conscious uncoupling journey at the moment, and we are going to talk about why rest isn't just a luxury and isn't just reserved for people who have already made it or who already have all the millions in the bank. It needs to be an integral part of your revenue strategy for this year. And if your anxiety is already saying, but what about this? And what about that? And that must be nice. And that's not my reality. Don't worry, we're going to tackle all of that too. I've got you. You know, we keep things real around here. So let's turn away any idea of you experiencing burnout this year. Burnout is so 2024. We are not available for that this year. We are available for making more and working less. And I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to focus on starting now. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? It's your host, Tiffany Carter, and this is the show that is going to help you grow your business, your bank account, that big, beautiful brain of yours, your abundance, your relationships, and everything in between. Let me throw some facts at you because you know I'm all about sharing those receipts here. So your ego can't sit and yell and say, there is no way I can make more and work less. Tiffany, you don't understand. That's not possible. Bobbity, bobbity, boo. Well, let me tell you something. Companies reporting rest practices see a 34% higher year over year revenue growth. And Microsoft in Japan tested a 4-day work week, and they saw a 40% increase in productivity, a 23% reduction in operational costs, and 92% of employees being happier. Even more facts. Harvard Business Review found that strategic breaks during your day increase productivity by 28%. Regular rest periods improve creative problem solving by 33%, and employees who take regular breaks make 23% fewer errors. And here, this one really blew me away. I'm not surprised, but the number is staggering. Sleep deprivation costs US based companies $411 billion annually in lost productivity. And well rested workers show a 50% increase in their productivity and decision making. There's more. I could keep going, but you get my point that there's hard data and hard medical facts that have been studied that prove that taking a less is more approach is the way to go to have success. It not only, of course, is more fulfilling in your personal life and makes you feel like you actually have a life, but you end up making more money. So then why is it that so many of us get caught up in the dance of more is more? I've got to do more. I've got to sacrifice more. I've got to work longer hours. I've got to work out harder. I fall in that in areas in my life too. And I fell into that, to be very transparent with you, in 2024. And it was so subconscious. And that's why we talk about on the show and in my programs and inside my posse membership, why we go deep into our rooted money beliefs and these other beliefs that end up sabotaging us from having the stuff that we actually want. I had a lot of modeling growing up from a parent who was rooted in scarcity and became a workaholic and just worked more and more and more. And I did see that there was financial success and there were privileges because of that work. And I also grew up as like a 90s baby in the time where it was like, do those boot camp workouts and you got to do two a days and you want to excel, you've got to do this. And all of that kind of conditioning, stuff that we were told, stuff that was implied, how we were marketed to, where we were raised, the environment, the decade, that ends up becoming a default setting. And without realizing it, I fell into I need to be doing more in order to keep this insane amount of success that I had as a major surge in 2023 and 2024 in order to keep it going. And I'm saying this as I reflect on it. I was not aware of it during it. And you know that I have coaches, I have a therapist, I'm medicated, I have a psychiatrist, and it still didn't matter because I was all in it. I was caught in this riptide where I came up with if I want to keep riding this wave that I've earned, right? All of my compounded efforts over the years. I have a surge in popularity, a surge in sales, a surge in viewers, a surge in downloads, a surge in all the things. And something clicked on internally, subconsciously, that it was like, you want to keep this going, Tiff. You better work, bitch. You want to keep taking these $55,000 super luxurious international trips and you want, to be making all these insane investments and doing all these things. You better work, honey. You better do this. And that was running in the background. And I didn't realize I had this running until months later, until we were towards more the end of 2024, where I started feeling resentful towards my business. I noticed I started even feeling low key jealous of people who seem to have it so easy. That's like one of my tells. If I start becoming really envious and not like enamored or inspired, I'm talking where it's like, God, it would be so nice if I had all that support. Oh, that must be so easy for them because they have family members who work for their business and I don't have that. And I had a lot of that kind of chatter going on mentally and I was like, what the hell is going on with me? Like I really wasn't super stoked about anything. I didn't hate anything, but I really wasn't feeling right. And my health definitely took a nosedive. I had more inflammation. My cortisol was really high. And I have gotten with practitioners, and now we're back on the right track. My body was screaming at me. My body was yelling at me. My brain was even yelling at me. But it wasn't until I reached a high enough pain threshold where I could really see, oh God, this check engine light is on. We've got a big warning sign on. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is one, that's what I do here, right? Like I can't expect you guys to be vulnerable and share with me and feel safe with me and not feel so alone and on entrepreneurial island and often never Neverland in this world if I don't share all sides of all the things. And I've been an entrepreneur for 17 years. I'm highly successful at what I do. I teach this stuff, but I'm also a human being. So I want you to let yourself off the hook. If you still are mad at yourself for behaviors, habits, traps you fell into, shit that you did, shit you didn't do in 2024, we can't go back. We're only moving forward. We've just got to let it go. That doesn't mean we don't want to glance in the review mirror and make an assessment like I just did with you guys right now. But if you stare in a review mirror too long, you're going to crash into the person in front of you. It's not helpful. In fact, it will keep you stagnant. And The truth is, I have a full program that's called Make More, Work Less. Like, that is my money manifestation program, my money mindset healing program that hundreds and hundreds of people have taken with remarkable results. And I'm extending my special flash abundance sale so that you guys can get in this right at the start of the year. So you are nipping this in the bud. Is it bud or butt? Nipping this in the butt? Or nipping this in the bud? I like both. I think I like butt better. Let's go with it. I don't know which one it is, but I'm sure someone will correct me. So you get this program, which is a self-guided program. There's 4 modules, plus there's around an 87-page guided workbook that goes with it. It's designed to binge in 7 days or less to transform your money story. This doesn't need to be something that takes months and months to do. It's something that I want you to have results very quickly. Because when we have like an instant win on something, then we're more compelled to keep digging into it and keep doing it. So you are also going to get my brand new 90-day guided abundance planner and journal called the Abundance Zone. And I'm giving that to you for free when you sign up. Plus, you get $200 off this program. Go to projectmewithttiffany.com/make more work less to access the special abundance flash sale. You can also swipe up. It's in the link in the show notes and in the description here on Project Me TV on YouTube. I have a program around making more working less. I have a multiple 7-figure business, all because of making more working less. I work at the most 3.5 hours a week, at the absolute most. Like, I work less than a part-time employee and make all of this money. And even though I teach all of this and have all of this proof and have coached more than 150,000 people at this point, I still have default programming. And for me, it got triggered with the abundance surge that I had in 2024. Week over week, I was making more and more and more than I ever had. $100,000 a week, $117,000 a week, $170,000. It was more and more and better and better. And it felt so good. And then I hit that internal abundance threshold that I do talk about inside my Make More Work Less program that we all have, where we hit like an abundance ceiling, where that amount of abundance pleasure starts feeling uncomfortable. And it might not be money for you that feels uncomfortable. It can be how you're earning your money. It can be where you're actually have this weird resistance around making money doing something that comes easily to you. So it's not about the money, it's more of the ease and the fun, or making money doing something you love. You almost feel like that's too good to be true, right? So where mine shows up, it was like I got this abundance threshold of, oh my God, this is crazy. I'm working less and less and less, and I'm making more and more. And I know this is possible, and I know this stuff works, and I know I set myself up for this. But oh my God, this is crazy. Does it get to keep going like this? Can I trust this? Eee. And that's when it triggered my old behaviors. So I want you to take a note out of my story so that you can recognize and start looking at your own patterns of when you start getting into this. It's too good to be true. Can I really trust this? Is this really a thing? Who am I to really think that this is possible? And every variation of that in between. And I want to focus this episode so that you can kick right off in 2025 of taking very simple, streamlined actions and cut out the noise of the rest. So we're going to focus predominantly on actions that you're going to take. And then if you want, and you let me know by DMing me on Instagram or TikTok at Project Me with Tiffany, or replying to any of our emails that we sent out, make sure you are on my Secret Posse weekly digest email list, because my signature program, Selling with Soul, that is only launched one time a year, that happens near the beginning of the year, and you do not want to miss that. So make sure that you are on that list. Go to projectmewithttiffany.com/secret posse to join that for free, and it's in the show notes. So if you want like more of like the mindset stuff of making more and working less, share this episode, leave a written review on Apple Podcasts, tap the 5 stars on Spotify, leave a comment here on Project Me TV, and then that'll let me know that you want me to go deeper into this stuff because I don't want to do an episode that you're not interested in. Okay. And you can also tell me any other episode topics or any questions that you have that you would love to have covered on the show by me or any guests that I have on. And we have some really exciting guests coming up too. I want you to hear my minimum effective dose method. Those of you who are providers, practitioners, prescribers, I have a lot of you listen to the show. All of us have probably taken some form of medication at this point. Ideally, you want to, in most cases, start at the minimum effective dose of a medication because with all medications, when you take a higher dose of it, you have an increased risk of the side effects. So we really want to stay at that minimum effective dose and find that sweet spot for you. The sweet spot where you are weighing the benefits and the risks. You have the most efficacy of that drug, but you have the least amount of side effects. And that is different for every single person. So I've taken that premise from my pharmaceutical days, both legal and not legal, and I'm applying that to the make more work less strategy. So I want you to first look at how you can best leverage your current energy. We only have so much energy in a day, and everybody is different. Everyone has different personality types. You have a different chemical makeup, hormone makeup. You might have diabetes. You might have depression. You might have another invisible illness. You might have a lot of stressors going on. You might have extra weight on you, what have you. You know how much prime energy you have in a day. So I want you to look at that. And whatever it is at this given time, we want to be realistic here. Maybe it's only 2 hours, okay? And you can still make significant cash and reach your goals, grow your business and do all the things even if your window is that short. I would say for me, I have 4 hours max of prime time, top tier energy in a day. So then I want you to look at what time of day roughly is that? What is your window? Is it separated? Are you someone who's better all 4 hours at once? Are you at 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon? Are you a night owl? What is that for you? Then I want you to look at what gives you more energy. We want to maximize this time frame because when you're at a peak energy state, that's when you can get more done in less time. And that's what we want to do. You know, when you're like really tired and really low energy and you try to force yourself to do something, you make mistakes. It takes 10 times longer. It's just like all the stats that I pulled for you for this episode. Those mistakes end up being costly or things end up taking you, 10 times longer than they need to. So now you've wasted time and time is money. And then you've wasted energy because you've wasted time and you waste creative bandwidth and so on. So we want to work with your energy and not against it. So what can get you more energy? For me, I know I move my body in the morning. Like I prioritize getting some sort of sunlight and I move my body in the morning. That is going to make those 4 hours even have higher energy, or it might even give me like 5 hours, okay, depending on the day. But I know it's not going to deplete my energy. So I want you to just take a look at, you can make a list, you can just think about it. What are things that do boost your energy? And also look at things that pull from it. For example, do you have a habit of waking up and scrolling? There's no way that's giving you energy. It's not possible. It's not. As you pressing snooze on your alarm, and listen, I'm guilty. I can be a snoozer. Any more than me pressing snooze once has a law of diminishing returns for me. So I know that, and I do my best to not go past that. Do you wake up and if you hydrate right away, is that something that's going to give you more energy? So I'm looking for even little things. They don't need to be big things that you have to do, but stuff that is going to give you more energy or avoid depleting more energy. I can't have a lot of loud noise. I can't be bombarded with emails, questions, and things first thing in the morning. There needs to be an ease in period to the day. Nothing will whack my energy or make me cunty with a K more than that. So I make sure that I preserve that time period and that energy. Otherwise, it really, really goes sideways. The next level part to this: how can I get more of my time and energy back? In order for you to get more clients, make more cash, grow your business, do the things that you're wanting to do, we know that time is required. We know energy is required. We know like mental creative bandwidth is required. And we know we can't do all the things ourselves all at once. What is going to make you get from your point A to your point C faster, with less stress, with more ease, and more fun? That's what we want to do. Not what's the cheapest, not what is maybe seems like it's like the laziest way, like a cutting corner kind of way. That's you trying to do like a microwave solution, like microwaving, pasta, and then it tastes like shit. Okay. You'll end up with pasta, but like not really a great result, right? So you don't want to do that plan. And I know that you've done that before. We all have. We've all played sheep with our dreams. We've all tried to cut corners. We've all told ourselves, oh, instead of spending this money, I should do it myself. Instead of asking somebody, I should just do it myself. Instead of this, I should. No, that is going to make you work so much more and spend so much more time, energy, and money in the long run. And we're not doing that in 2025. Instead, is there a skill? Is there a person that I can hire that is going to show me and guide me and help me have a plan, help me implement a strategy to get from A to C much faster, where I'm cutting out the trial and error, I'm cutting out the guesswork, I'm cutting out me going down these three routes that end up at dead ends, and now I have to keep starting over again, and now it's fucking July and I've wasted all of this time. So is it applying to work with me in my private 2-month business coaching program, which I am opening some spots for the beginning of the year? They are not going to be open regularly all year round. I only take 4 private clients at a time. And so when I run Selling with Soul, I don't have any available. So I am opening my applications right now for a short period of time for my 2-month private business coaching program. That's the most exclusive way to work with me. And this is when you come to me where you're like, I have a goal of getting from, I'm just making this up, but like $10,000 a month to $50,000 a month. I want to scale to this. I want to get here in my business. We are packaging offers. We are creating a customized, profitable content plan. We are creating offer stacks so that people buy from you on repeat and it's not just one and done. You have reoccurring revenue, and we do that together. It's not information, because you don't need more information. You need to implement the information. And those are the people that work best with me, that work with me privately in my program. It's by application only because I need to make absolutely sure that it's a great fit. And the application link will be in the show notes to this episode, so you can swipe up and apply. Only apply if you're serious, because this is no joke. This is a true investment. It's, of course, tax deductible, but this is if you've fucked around long enough and you want to make absolutely sure that you've stacked the odds in your favor so that 2025 is the year that this has happened. Not isn't the year that you hoped that you tried, that you dreamt about it, that you set an intention for it, that you took the actions to set yourself up so failure is literally impossible. And when you set yourself up so it's impossible to fail by doing the things that I'm sharing in this episode today, think about how good that feels in your nervous system. When you know that you have the support, you know that you're intentionalizing. That could be a really good word. You are intentionally managing your time, maximizing your time. You are really using the energy that you do have and really squeezing the most of it. I'm not telling you to work 8 hours a day. In fact, I don't want you to. It's really not approved on my watch. I'm dead ass because it's the law of diminishing returns when you start working past your power focus point. Okay. What I need you to do instead is these things that I'm telling you that are going to maximize your time, right? Working with me privately, being in my ProjectME Posse business coaching membership, doing the work on your money mindset inside Make More and Work Less, paying someone to do tasks for you, like using the app TaskRabbit, having someone come and clean your house. Yes, paying that delivery fee to have your groceries delivered, even if you're like, well, I could just go to the store. Well, it could be half an hour, 45 minutes for you to go to the store. Is that really worth it for you? Right? You can even do trades with people, something that you delight in doing that doesn't take much effort for you to do. Maybe it's writing captions. You could trade writing captions for someone else creating graphics for you, and you can do swaps. I want you to get creative with being able to maximize this period of energy. This is how you can truly have a 4-hour workday. This is not like some weird pie in the sky thing that's only reserved for like a crazy type A hyper person. I'm type C for chill, okay? Like I am not type A at all. What I've done is because I'm so chill and on the lazy side, I have found ways to be more efficient and squeeze the most out of a small window of time. And it's interesting. It's just like in the studies that I shared. When you tell somebody, hey, you have an hour to get this done, and that's it, you have a deadline, which is what happened when I was a TV newscaster. I mean, sometimes you didn't even have an hour. Sometimes it was a half an hour. We're going live. You better have that script ready. Let me tell you, you will find a way to have that script ready because your ass is fired otherwise, right? But if you give yourself this crazy time period, we'll procrastinate, we'll make an excuse, we'll say we have writer's block. You've got to do this sort of mind trickery and pay people to keep you accountable, to make you show up for your shit. And it's worth the money to pay people to make you accountable. It is worth it for me to pay money to go to a Pilates class, and Pilates ain't cheap, okay? And the studio I go to, you don't show up. They don't care. You're not getting that money back. You best believe if I knew you could even cancel 5 minutes before and you could get your money back, oh my God, I would have showed up half the amount of times. So I like that they have those policies in place because I am also paying for them to help me follow through with my own goals in my life. Next thing, 80% of your tasks need to be moving the needle on the goal that you're focused on. In this case, we're talking about income generating. You're wanting to make more money, bring more money into your business, into your life. So in this case, 80% of your tasks must be income generating tasks. So even if you have other admin tasks, creative tasks, other things to do, if it deters, if it pulls away from you being able to spend 80% of your prime energy on income generating tasks, you need to outsource those. You need to get a VA. You need to go on Fiverr, on Upwork, on one of these variety of sites where you can access people all over the world that can work for you at a very low cost, especially outside the US and Canada. Okay. and with people are very grateful for this work and extremely competent. Don't say, oh, I'm not far enough along, or I'm really maximized right now on my team. I can't afford to hire someone to do this. Say a different question to yourself. How can I outsource this? How can I get creative to outsource it? And if you can't find a way, then you need to ask yourself, how important is this task? Is this a high yielding task? Is this a task that like has to get done, or is this a nice to have? A lot of you put shit on your plate, and we do this as entrepreneurs and as multi-passionate people, of stuff that isn't really a necessity, isn't really a major needle mover in your bank account. Your ego wants to convince you have to do it. It's shiny object syndrome. You see all these other people doing it, so you think that you need to do it. Is it making you profits? Not revenue, but I'm talking cold, hard cash. Is it really that important? Another reason to work with someone like me, because I'll fucking tell you that at this point in your business, at this stage, that is not a priority. That can come once you're at this revenue point, at this profit point. But right now, that's not going to get you there. This is yet again why it is so beneficial and gives you so much more on your return on investment when you work with someone who's highly experienced to help you, whether it's about your body, whether it's about your business, whether it's coaching you in a relationship, whether it's inner child healing, whether it's going to an expert on skin. I mean, I went to someone, I had really bad, severe adult cystic acne in like my early 30s. And I didn't fuck around. I went to the best of the best, Dr. Lancer, and he's the Kardashians' dermatologist. Okay. And he charges exorbitantly more. I was very close friends. My dear mentor who passed, Dr. Kadavi, like would have done it all for free. But I wanted to go to someone specifically who like specialized in this kind of acne for people who like their faces were always seen on TV. Like the shit needed to work quickly and he was aggressive. And I spent $10,000. But you want to know what? That cystic acne was gone in 6 months and it never came back. So, how much do you think that was worth to me? Just in my mindset, in my confidence, in how I showed up, in everything, in my peace of mind, I would pay that over and over again. And that wasn't a tax deduction. Okay. It's not like working with me. So, here are things to focus on when it comes to income generating. If you do not know how to sell, showcase, and market your business, your products, your personal brand, that needs to be a top tier key priority. I don't give a fuck if you're a chef. I don't care if you're a Reiki healer. I don't care if you're a realtor. I don't care if you work in corporate sales. I don't care if you sell hats and sweatshirts online. It is all about sales. Business is about sales. People need to know that your business exists for them to buy it. If you could have the best book in the world, and a lot of you do have a lot of amazing authors who listen to the show, but if people don't know that you exist and then they don't feel an emotional connection to you as the author or the subject matter of the book and have a chance to really even connect on that level, they're not even going to buy the thing. And so it's going to go unread. Same with a restaurant. You can even have in a top tier location, but if you don't do anything to compel people to make a reservation and come in the door and keep coming back, that restaurant's going to go out of business. And a majority of them do. How you can solve that, a skill that will never not pay off for the rest of your life, is literally what I specialize in teaching. And they're my emotional based sales techniques. Now, working with me privately, you get a customized approach to that. And then when Selling Soul, my signature program, does launch, and its launches like typically in early March, It is the program that teaches you these exact sales techniques that have generated over $250 million in sales, and well more than that if you count all the sales that all the clients and all the students have made over the course of my career and teaching this course. And the reason why this works is because you are learning a skill that you can replicate and get better and better at and apply to anything that you want people to buy, no matter what it is. You can apply it to a book. You want to sell a service. You want to sell a house. You want to have an e-commerce store. You want to be an affiliate marketer and sell other people's products. You want to be an influencer and have a TikTok shop. It applies to all of that. And I would say if you are not doing something to making a point of bettering that skill set, you're already losing money. That would be top tier. There's a reason that Forbes has voted that learning how to profitably market your business and do profitable content creation, these are their top two income generating skills. And they were voted that for 2 years in a row now. Okay. So I want you to really look at what you're focusing on. Getting fixated on getting more followers, going viral, getting obsessed about like, how do I price this thing and this and that. That's all the ancillary stuff that's wasting a lot of your time. When your time can be really focused and streamlined on being able to develop a community, conveying your offer, conveying your heart, conveying what it is you help people with and who you specialize in helping, and compelling them, not convincing them, but compelling them and inviting them to work with you, inviting them to buy from you, inviting them into your store. And because I hear this so often, I know I need to address it. Countless people have said to me, I don't want to be on my phone all the time. I feel like I'm always on my phone. It takes me so long to create content. It takes me so long to write emails. It takes me so long to do this. Hear me on this. When you are using content marketing to market and sell your business, this is not abnormal for it to take up 70 to 80% of your energy per day. Like I want it to, it needs to, if that is your prime way of showcasing and connecting with your clients. Just like when I was in corporate sales, when I was a sales rep, and then I escalated to a national trainer and then a national sales director. My job was to be in front of my clients, my prospective clients, to get them to buy the product, to build the relationship, to educate, to compel them to want to use services and products. And there is a direct correlation with how much time I was spending on nurturing those relationships and putting myself and the business I was representing at the top of these prospective clients' minds and the amount of sales I made. It really is that simple. This is what we're mimicking in utilizing content marketing, which is about a million times easier than doing it the old school way. There's people who still cold call. Okay. There's people who still do cold DM leads. There's people who still literally knock on doors. There's people who grow businesses truly like going to networking meetings and conferences after conferences and doing presentations. I built my first business that way. Let me tell you, that is not making more and working less. You want to know what is? It's leveraging content marketing, because when you learn how to do it and you get better and better at the skill, all those pieces of content, from emails, from videos, from posts, from DMs, from comments, from you having trainings, from you having free online events, from you going live, you doing all of those things are having a sales team of 15, 20 salespeople. In fact, even more once you start compounding it and you have so many pieces of content out there. You have a podcast, you have a blog. Now you have a full sales team out there representing you and your business, selling for you all throughout the night in all different time zones to literally billions of people all over the world. There is no way you can't make, hear me on this, $1 million a year. And I feel this confident in saying this, $1 million a year at a minimum. Once you learn how to do this and you stick with it and you are dedicated to it, there's no way you can't, even when you break down the math, it makes sense. And any of you who are in corporate sales, were in corporate sales, work in a company that you're familiar with the sales department or as a friend in sales, I want you to talk to this person or talk to a friend who's a fucking realtor that actually makes money, which, by the way, is a very small percentage of realtors. My best friend from high school, Melissa Tucci, is literally voted. It's got to be now for the 15th year in the 15th year in a row. She's the top 1% of all realtors in the fucking world. No joke. Okay. And she will tell you this. I've had her on the show twice, that direct correlation with the amount of touch points with her potential target audience, people who want to list a house or buy a house, and her amount of homes that are sold. Period. End of story. It really is that simple. And you get to maximize your time and you get to do it more efficiently when you leverage the power of the internet, the power of social media, the power of personal branding, the power of using emotional-based sales techniques. I don't need to add anymore. You focus on the stuff that I just shared with you today, and you re-listen to this episode and you take it seriously and you actually take notes and you make a move and you apply to work with me in a variety of ways, right? You apply for my Holy Grail, which I only am taking a few spots, so my applications are not going to be open long for my private 2-month business coaching program. All right. And that's going to be inside the show notes. There are some new member spots open right now, my ProjectME Posse business coaching membership. And then I told you about my Make More, Work Less. And that's more mindset. Okay. That's working on your beliefs around money, the things that are blocking you, which is equally as important. And that has an abundance flash sale right now. So you know where to access all of it. I will not have all these links in my link in bio on my social media. So make sure you're going into the show notes or the description here on YouTube. But make a move that's going to allow you to make more and work less. Don't tell yourself the fucking lie that your old way of doing things, of being self-reliant, of playing cheap with your business, of the doing it all yourself program and what you've done in previous years with previous things, that's going to get you to where you want to go in 2025. It's not going to, and it's going to feel uncomfortable to go about things in a different way because it's going to feel counterintuitive. Even the phrase make more, work less feels counterintuitive to many of you. Even when I say it, it sounds ludicrous to me at times because of what we've been taught. But I can tell you emphatically without a doubt that it's absolutely true. And I've served enough facts for you. There's an entire receipts highlight on my Instagram, literally titled receipts. So you can see actual receipts and proof of it, not just of what I make, but my clients, where I'm talking like thousands and thousands of pieces of receipts so that when your ego's like, I don't know if this is possible for me because it goes against what society has taught you, what your family has taught you, what we've been programmed, what corporate America has taught you. It's fake news. There is another way. If you're someone who gets off on working more and more and more and more, and you like that burnout, grindy feeling, and for whatever reason you get off on it and that works for you, more power to you. I can tell you won't get rich that way. You won't have freedom level cash that way. Your health will not be able to sustain it. I almost died going about it that way, which forced me to learn a new way, which is why I now teach it to all of you. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Welcome to 2025, baby. This is the year that your abundance comes alive.